I think that a big thing is to talk about the way couples, they have a relationship where they're sharing finances, and then all of a sudden they want to separate finances. All of a sudden they're opening new accounts, they're getting new credit cards, they're not joint accounts anymore. Like, why don't they want to have you see any financial activity? All of a sudden they're making a certain amount of money and they're complaining, well, they don't have much money anymore, there's not as much money to do things, but they never changed jobs and they never changed that type of situation. So what is making them all of a sudden, where is this unaccounted for money going to? So that's definitely a sign. Look, generally when you're in a relationship, just by the nature of talking to your significant other, you want to, you're going to talk about their daily routine, what they're up to. Are there inconsistencies in their stories about where they went? They went to a work dinner, and then you talk about it, and then you bring it back up and you see that they changed where they went or their times or who they were with, or they want to avoid even talking about it. You're getting short answers. It's like these inconsistencies is something that you want to be aware of. So it's a good idea sometimes to question people if you have a suspicion about a particular place or where they were, and then you get all the information, and then you ask them the same question maybe a few days later and see if you're getting the same exact story, if there's any deviation from what they were talking about. A lot of people say infidelity is different in my experience for men and women. Generally speaking, and this is not for everybody, obviously, we're just talking more statistics, doesn't apply to everyone, but generally speaking, in my experience, when a man cheats, most of the time it's more of sexual nature than anything else. They met someone they were sexually attracted to. It's more of sometimes a sexual relationship than it is an emotional relationship, where they met someone, it's they still are in love with their significant other. They kind of want to have their cake and eat it too. I'm not condoning it, it's not right, but it's one of the realities of what goes on. Whereas women, when they cheat, generally it's more on an emotional level. It's generally when a woman is feeling something is lacking in their relationship, they feel that they weren't paid attention to, there was no compliments, they're not feeling cared for, or the affection's gone, whatever it may be, they're feeling something that's missing in their relationship, and they can feel a little bit vulnerable, and then they can maybe look more and turn to someone else that's treating them well, and then it develops into a relationship. So usually when a woman cheats on you, you're in trouble, generally speaking, because it's more of an emotional thing, and that's why you want to really make sure that when you're in a relationship, obviously infidelity is a really devastating thing to do to any person. I mean, it's something, people think that there's no justification for it, basically is what I want to say. It destroys lives. There's a ripple effect that affects family. If you have children, it affects your children. There's divorce that comes out of it, and breakups, and in-laws and related friends and family that you have connection to. So it's a very big ripple effect and a very devastating thing that that can transpire. So obviously there's a lot of people that have experienced infidelity. If you do experience it, you'll know what a devastating thing it is, and you'll know that you want to look for someone next time, and you'll kind of have more of keen senses the next time around to kind of feel out if somebody is maybe engaging in this type of behavior, and then you can maybe end the relationship a lot sooner than before you get in too deep, or you're getting married and having children. You'll have more keen senses. I think I would say, what are the things that I want to say?
I have a question.
Sure.
So how far do you go when you're trailing a suspect? Who comes to you more, men or women, to see if their spouse is cheating or their boyfriend or girlfriend is cheating?
It's about 50-50.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Well, I'm surprised by that.
I would say years ago we would have more women.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's equal opportunity.
Interesting. And so how far do you go? Are you the one that's looking at receipts or whatever? Do you bust open motel room doors?
No, well, there's laws that protect against that stuff.
Oh, well.
But
they don't protect from me. So no, I'm just kidding.
But look, you want to have evidence that is black or white. You don't want to be in a gray area, and really physical evidence is going to be the most damaging kind of evidence. So by doing surveillance, we will be witnessing who the person is involved with, backing it up with our reports and video, and that is really the way that you want to attack infidelity. I mean, there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that we want to build, but the
Right.
real physical proof is going to be the proof that is going to be the most compelling.
Yeah. So, and then do the people that were cheating, do they ever contact you after they've been found out? I'm very curious about that.
The people that we busted
Yeah,
cheating?
the people that you busted. Did they
I mean,
come out to you?
they have very few times.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, when people are caught and they're busted, they know they're busted. And,
yeah.
you know, listen, they don't project it on us. You shouldn't have been doing it in the first place.
Absolutely. So I have some questions from our online participants, if you don't mind answering
sure.
a couple.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Gracie P wants to know, what kind of evidence do you need to prove that your husband has been unfaithful? So I guess she's asking, she seems to have a gut feeling. So as soon as she finds, well, what's the one thing that you think that when you find it that's not gray area?
Again, it's the physical stuff. I mean, I don't really suggest people trying to be their own detectives too
Right.
much. I mean, there's certain things you can do, but a lot of times you do want to call in a professional because it's difficult work.
Yeah.
I would suggest that, you know, not confronting someone right away.
Don't confront.
No,
Okay.
because you don't want to let on that you might know something. A lot of people, you know, it's an emotional situation, so people
Right.
do want to confront right away and say, well, what's going on? I saw this email, I saw this text, where were you, and this and that. You kind of, sometimes it happens,
Yeah.
but you want to try to refrain from as much as you can, gather all your intel or information,
Right.
and then at that point, you know, decide if it's something you want to really follow up with a professional. But physical proof is going to be the most damaging.
Yeah, yes, it is. Okay, here is one from the dude, and the dude is a woman. She wants to know, or maybe it's a man, my husband is cheating, but I can't afford an investigator. So what should I do? So you're saying grab all the stuff. How long should you wait until you confront?
Well, confronting someone, you know, it depends. It depends on a relationship. If you're married, or not. It depends. Like, what are you looking to do? You know, we're not in a marriage wrecking business. You know,
Right.
I mean, honestly, a lot of our clients come to us, and we actually save marriages. There was, you know, there's something lacking in a relationship. Sometimes people don't address, whether it's a communication issue, it's somebody one person is feeling one way, the other is feeling the other way, and instead of addressing together, they're looking for someone else to bring them that happiness that they can really have together if they address it correctly.
So you've actually saved marriages.
I'd save a lot of marriages.
Really? So you don't think once a cheater, always a cheater?
I don't think that.
Okay, good to
I don't
know.
think. A lot of people say that all the time to me. I don't think. I actually have people every year sending me Christmas cards that they're more happy and stronger in their relationships now.
So you have busted a guy cheating, and then you get a Christmas card from his family later?
Absolutely.
That is a great story. That's fantastic. So have you ever found a client that's not, that hasn't been like a case that you followed and they weren't cheating?
I have.
Some good stories, yeah.
It's few and far between by the time
Really?
someone calls me, unfortunately, because like I said, once by the time people call us, it's really, they have a lot of you know, circumstantial evidence.
yeah.
And like I said, the number one thing is this gut feeling. That gut feeling is, like I said, by the time someone calls, it's a really accurate barometer.
Yeah.
And you always should follow your gut with anything. in my
Yeah.
opinion.
So 50-50 across the board, and women always know and men always know, pretty much. They all have the gut feeling.
Yeah, I
So
would
always
say.
picture women have the woman intuition and men being jealous and.
Well, I'll tell you, that's interesting because I agree with that. I think women's senses are a little bit more keen, and women have the ability to deal with infidelity much better than men, actually. When my men clients are really can't handle it at all.
As
well.
you said, it really mean if a woman's cheating, she's in love. If a man's cheating, it's
Exactly.
slip up.
Yeah.
But anyway, so have you ever been cheated on? Is this how you got into this business?
No, it's not. And
You're no, it's not. And thank you for bringing that up.
I think it's a great question, and I've been asked that before.
Yeah.
From this business and from my background, I have a very keen sense of judgment. And I kind of can tell a lot about a person by talking and meeting with them. So I kind of associate myself with people that I can trust. I've been fortunate that it hasn't happened to me. If I have a weird feeling on someone, whether it's a friend, a business associate, I won't associate with them.
I see.
You know, I trust my gut feeling.
That's funny. Could you imagine trying to cheat on the guy that busts cheaters? That's a good story.
You know, the last thing I want to do in my own personal life is having to investigate people that I'm involved with. I've never actually really investigated anyone.
Really?
I mean, you know, some little things or whatever, but nothing really